Ever feel like you just want the key info, the cheat codes maybe to understanding something big without wading through tons of text?
Yeah, like getting the core download straight away.
Exactly. And that's our plan today. We're diving deep into a book that kicked off a whole phenomenon for so many people. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Right, though folks in the UK will know it as Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
That's true. It's always interesting, that title change. Sorcerer maybe felt a bit more, I don't know, obviously magical for the US market at the time.
It's possible. It does kind of frame it slightly differently, doesn't it? Makes you wonder how they approached marketing it.
Yeah, our sources don't dive deep into how the title affected sales, but it points to thinking about the audience, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, to really get into this, we've got some great sources lined up.
Okay.
We've looked at a Time article, the Wikipedia rundown, which is pretty comprehensive, Daniel Green's YouTube summary, he's great, and a plot summary from zenite.org.
Good mix. So what's the goal here?
The mission is simple. Unpack the absolute must-know stuff from this first book. Key events, who's who, and the core ideas that set everything else up.
Got it. Makes sense to start right at the beginning then. The big event that quicks it all off, Voldemort's downfall.
Or seeming downfall, maybe. We hear about James and Lily Potter being killed.
Tragic.
Yeah.
And then Voldemort turns his wand on baby Harry. Tries the killing curse.
But it backfires. That's the thing. It rebounds, takes Voldemort out, sort of, and leaves Harry with just that famous scar.
The lightning bolt. Instantly iconic.
Right. And the biggest question hangs over everything. How on earth did a baby survive that? It's a fantastic hook.
Absolutely. And then the immediate aftermath for Harry isn't exactly glorious, is it?
No. He gets dumped with his non-magical relatives, the Dursleys. Muggles, as they're called.
And they are just awful to him. 10 years of neglect living in a cupboard.
It's such a stark contrast, isn't it? The wizarding world is celebrating Voldemort's defeat. Harry's a hero there, but he has no idea he's just miserable.
It really highlights how extraordinary his actual heritage is compared to his upbringing. Sets the stage for that big reveal.
Which comes finally on his 11th birthday. The Hogwarts letters start arriving.
Oh, yeah. The Dursleys trying to stop them is...
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny, but also desperate.
Totally. Burning letters, boarding up the house, running away to that hut on a rock.
And then Hagrid shows up.
Yeah.
Boom, you're a wizard, Harry.
Such a classic moment. The whole truth comes tumbling out. Harry's world just completely flips.
And you see the Dursleys' fear, really. Their attempt to suppress his magic just didn't stand a chance against, oh, destiny, maybe.
Yeah, it feels inevitable. And that escape leads right into Diagon Alley.
His first real taste of the wizarding world is more than just shopping, isn't it? It's like stepping into another reality.
Oh, completely. Finding out he has money, gold left by his parents.
A connection to them.
Yeah, and getting his wand. That's huge. Ollivanders?
And the detail about the wand core? That it shares a feather from the same phoenix as Voldemort's wand.
Whoa, yeah. That's a big clue dropping early on, isn't it? Even if we don't know exactly what it means yet.
It definitely hints at a deeper connection. Something more than just victim and attacker.
Yeah.
A shared destiny, perhaps.
Feels like it. And let's not forget Hagrid picking up that grubby little package from Gringotts, Vault 713.
Right. Super secret for Dumbledore.
Yeah.
You just know that's going to be important later. It screams plot device.
Pretty much. Okay, so, loaded up with wizarding stuff, he heads to the Hogwarts Express. Platform 9, 3/4.
And this is where he meets Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger. The iconic trio starts to form.
Their first interactions are so telling. Ron's kind of, down to earth, maybe a bit insecure from this big wizarding family.
And Hermione comes across as, well, a bit of a know-it-all at first, maybe. Very smart, very by the book.
Yeah, but you see the sparks of friendship starting. And poor Neville losing his toad, Trevor, right away.
Yeah. Sets up Neville's character, too. And then there's Draco Malfoy making his entrance.
Ugh, Malfoy. Offers Harry friendship, but in that really arrogant, sneering Slytherin way. Harry turns him down flat.
Good call. That sets up their rivalry immediately. Then comes the sorting ceremony.
The sorting hat. Such a cool concept. Dividing everyone into the 4 houses. Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin.
And Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville all end up in Gryffindor, the house of bravery and nerve.
While Malfoy, predictably, goes to Slytherin ambition, cunning.
But the hat almost put Harry in Slytherin, didn't it? That's a key bit.
Oh yeah, that hesitation, it suggests there's maybe a bit of Slytherin in Harry too. Adds some complexity right off the bat.
Definitely. It's not black and white. Okay, so classes start, and Harry discovers something else. He's amazing at flying.
Totally. Gets on a broom, and it's just natural, which leads to him becoming the Gryffindor Quidditch seeker.
As a first year, which is like almost unheard of.
Sets him apart again, shows he's got some special talents, maybe inherited from his dad, who was also a player.
Right, it connects him to his past again.
Yeah.
But things aren't all fun and games and Quidditch. Mysteries start cropping up.
Yeah. First off, that Gringotts break-in they hear about. The same day Harry and Hagrid were there, in that specific vault Hagrid emptied.
Vault 713. Too much of a coincidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone was after whatever Hagrid took.
Exactly. And then they stumble onto Fluffy,
The giant three-headed dog.
guarding a trapdoor on the forbidden third floor. I mean, talk about obvious clues that something important is hidden there.
It's basically a big slobbery keep-out sign that just makes them more curious.
Naturally. Then comes the Halloween troll incident.
Oh, right, the troll in the dungeon, which Quirrell, funny enough, announces.
Yeah, and it ends up in the girls' bathroom with Hermione trapped. Harry and Ron go charging in.
And somehow managed to knock it out. Mostly Ron's accidental brilliance with the levitation charm, wasn't it? Wingardium Leviosa.
Huh, yeah. But Hermione takes the blame to keep them out of too much trouble, and that really cements their friendship, facing danger together.
It's a big turning point for them as a group. They start relying on each other.
Then the first Quidditch match. Harry's doing great, and suddenly his broom goes nuts. Starts trying to buck him off.
Terrifying moment, high up in the air.
And Hermione sees Snape down in the stands staring at Harry, muttering she thinks he's jinxing the broom.
So she sets Snape's robes on fire to break his concentration? Pretty bold move.
Totally. And it works. Harry regains control. But now, Snape is suspect number one in their minds.
Yeah, he's already seemed to dislike Harry, so it fits their narrative. Classic red herring looking back.
So suspicions are brewing, then Christmas arrives.
And Harry gets that anonymous present.
His father's invisibility cloak. How cool is that?
Incredibly useful for sneaking around Hogwarts, which, let's be honest, they do a lot of.
You bet. And while sneaking around, he finds the mirror of Arised.
Ah, the mirror. That's a powerful scene. He looks in and sees.
His parents, his whole family. It shows your heart's deepest desire. It's heartbreaking, really, his longing for them.
And Ron looks in it later and sees himself as head boy and Quidditch captain, holding the cup. Shows his desires, different from Harry's.
Dumbledore finds Harry there and warns him, that people have wasted away staring into it. It doesn't show truth, just desire.
A really important lesson about not dwelling on what you can't have.
Yeah,
Focus on the real world.
right. So, fueled by the Gringotts break-in, Fluffy, Snape's behavior, the trio starts researching, trying to figure out what's being hidden.
And Hermione, naturally, finds the answer in a book. Nicholas Flamel.
The alchemist, the only known maker of the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone in the U.S. version.
Which produces the elixir of life, grants immortality.
Suddenly it all clicks. That's what Hagrid got from Gringotts. That's what Fluffy is guarding.
And who would want immortality? Voldemort. And who do they think is helping him?
Snape. It all seems to fit together from their perspective.
Their logic is based on what they've seen. Snape's dislike of Harry, his suspicious behavior during the Quidditch match. It makes sense to them.
Things get even more complicated when Hagrid gets Norbert.
The baby dragon, a Norwegian ridgeback. Highly illegal.
Hagrid's love for dangerous creatures definitely causes problems. They have to figure out how to smuggle this dragon out of the castle.
Which involves Ron's older brother Charlie, who works with dragons in Romania.
Mm.
But they get caught after dropping Norbert off.
Yep. Malfoy rats them out. Detention.
And detention means a trip into the Forbidden Forest at night with Hagrid.
Sounds like a recipe for trouble. And it is. Harry sees a hooded figure.
Drinking unicorn blood, which is described as this terrible, cursed act.
Firenze, the centaur, saves Harry and tells him it was Voldemort trying to stay alive using the unicorn blood until he can get the stone. Really ups the stakes.
Confirms Voldemort is out there actively seeking the stone, and then Hagrid, bless him.
Let's slip how to get past Fluffy. Music puts him to sleep. He told some stranger in the pub in exchange for the dragon egg.
Oh, Hagrid. He means well, but...
Yeah.
So now they know how to get past the first obstacle. They figure Snape must know too, or maybe he was the stranger. They try to warn Dumbledore. But he's been called away to the Ministry of Magic. Convenient.
Suspiciously convenient. They feel like they have no choice. Snape's gonna steal the stone tonight. They have to go after it themselves.
11-year-olds deciding to take on potentially Voldemort.
No.
It's incredibly brave. And maybe a little reckless.
Just a tad. So they put Fluffy to sleep with a flute, And down the trapdoor they go.
And face a series of magical protections. Put there by the Hogwarts teachers, it turns out.
First, Professor Sprite's devil snare. Hermione knows how to handle that relax.
Then Professor Flitwick's challenge.
And hundreds of flying keys, and they need to catch the right one to unlock the door. Harry's seeker skills come in handy.
Totally. He spots the one with the bent wing. Then the big one.
Professor McGonagall's giant wizard's chess set. They have to play their way across the board.
And Ron is brilliant at chess. He directs them, figures out the strategy.
But realizes the only way for Harry to get through is for Ron himself to be sacrificed. Taken by the Queen.
Such a powerful moment. Ron's loyalty and bravery are just incredible there. He tells Harry to go on. So Harry and Hermione reach the next room, Professor Snape's challenge. Logically enough, potions.
But Hermione figures it out, solves the riddle, tells Harry which potion will let him pass through the magical fire to the final chamber, and which will let her go back.
Showing her cleverness under pressure, Harry goes on alone.
Expecting to face Snape. But it's not Snape.
It's Quirrell, the nervous, stuttering defense against the dark arts teacher.
Mind blown. And Quirrell admits he tried to kill Harry at the Quidditch match. He let the troll in. Snape was actually trying to save Harry with a counter curse.
The ultimate misdirection. And then the final reveal. Quirrell removes his turban.
And Voldemort's face is on the back of his head, sharing Quirrell's body. So creepy.
Truly nightmarish. Voldemort used Quirrell to try and get the stone all along.
And Stone is there, inside the mirror of Erased, which is the final protection. Quirrell Voldemort can't get it out.
Because, as Dumbledore explains later, the mirror was enchanted, so only someone who wanted to find the stone, but not use it, could get it.
And when Harry looks in the mirror, wanting only to keep Voldemort from getting it, he feels it appear in his pocket. Pure intentions win.
But Voldemort orders Quirrell to attack Harry.
And when Quirrell touches Harry's skin, he burns. He starts blistering and turning to ash.
Agony. Because of Lily Potter's protection, her sacrificial love magic is still shielding Harry.
Voldemort's spirit flees Quirrell's dying body, passing right through Harry as it escapes. Harry blacks out.
He wakes up in the hospital wing. Dumbledore is there.
And Dumbledore explains everything. About Lily's love-based protection being ancient, powerful magic Voldemort can't understand or touch.
He confirms the stone has now been destroyed, with Flamel's agreement to keep it safe forever. Immortality wasn't the point.
And he explains why Harry got the stone from the mirror, his pure motive. He also reveals he sent Harry the invisibility cloak.
Tying up those loose ends. Then comes the end-of-year feast.
Slytherin thinks they've won the House Cup. They've had it for years.
But Dumbledore awards last-minute points to Ron for the chess game, to Hermione for her logic, to Harry for his nerve and bravery.
And crucially, to Neville for standing up to his friends when he thought they were breaking rules. Takes courage.
And those points push Gryffindor into the lead. They win the House Cup. Huge celebration.
What a fantastic ending to their first year, a real triumph.
And then it's back to the Dursleys for the summer.
But Harry's different now. He knows who he is. He knows he belongs somewhere else. At Hogwarts, he has friends. He's faced Voldemort.
The foundation is set. He's no longer just the boy under the stairs.
So recapping the big stuff, Harry learns he's a wizard, enters this incredible new world, makes these lifelong friends.
Uncovers mysteries, faces danger, and has his first very personal brush with Voldemort, protected by his mother's love.
Yeah, that first encounter is huge, isn't it? Even with Voldemort being so weak, it really sets the tone for everything that follows. The stakes are clear.
Absolutely. It establishes the core conflict and Harry's unique place within it.
And the whole thing with the stone, destroying it at the end, it makes you ponder, doesn't it? That's the book saying about life, death, immortality.
It poses a really interesting question. Is chasing eternal life actually missing the point? Maybe living a finite life with love and bravery is what truly matters in this world.
It's deep thoughts. Definitely something to chew on. If this chat has rekindled your interest,
Go back and read it. Or check out the rest of the series. See how all these seeds grow.
you really see how these first experiences, these relationships, shape everything for Harry down the line.
It's a wonderfully constructed beginning to an epic story. Themes of love, sacrifice, friendship, they all start right here.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah, great talking through it.
Until next time, keep exploring those stories.